Okay, 1, 2, 2, 3. As it says, welcome back today. As it says, there. Thank you. Okay, 2 things. 1, I don't know if it counts as a failed day or not, but what's wrong? Okay, day, what was it? 40, yeah, day 43 of my channel got copyright claimed, meaning I can't have it up. Does that count as a failed day? Hold on. Okay. So if the 43rd or second video was copyrighted and it's taken down or privated, does that mean it doesn't count as a video being up? Because I did it. Whatever. So like, I did it. I edited a video for that day, which was literally just cut whenever they said the word P, so it would just be literally just that, and they copyrighted it, and I'm like, fair, 100% fair, and I didn't know if it would be, because it wasn't enough. It was like 4 minutes or so, and I didn't realize it had like 100 and something views, and I didn't know about it until I clicked sort. I clicked copyright, nothing popped up. I refreshed the page and it instantly got copyrighted after I did that. So I don't know if it was something I did or it just happened to be right then. But I'm like, oh, okay. Then I forgot I did it. I even forgot I made it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. And, but I'm like, but I did it and I watched it, but technically it's not up on the channel. So part of me is like, ooh. So I don't know if that counts or not. My final day of watching as many days as I missed. That's how many videos I'll have up playing. But, that's okay. So, we'll figure that out later, if I remember. But, again, it totally makes sense. It makes sense. Not mad at all. I didn't think I would have been able to have it up. I made that in December 20th or something. So I'm like, dude, fair. So I was just really tired. It was like almost Christmas, you know? So anyways, so not mad. And again, it's completely fair. They took it down. Or it took it down. I wasn't gonna do it. Like, it's like you can take away the copy strike time, like, and it gave me a time slot. I'm like, what did they copyright? and I looked, and it said from a certain time to a certain time, so I was like, clicked it. Like, okay, let's take away that, because I want to not to actually do it. I wasn't going to put it back up, but just to see, okay, well, what was the copyrighted moment? And then it said like here. And I'm like, okay, so all of it. Okay. So I let it be. I was like, cool, I'm done. But yeah, so apparently that was a thing. I didn't know. And then what else? Oh yeah. I also didn't realize I had, like, honestly, it could have been a million views on it if no one commented on it. I didn't get a notification about it, so I didn't know that it got that high. Like, again, only got like 100 or something, but like that many views on it. So I was like, okay. I should have made it if I wish I did, or literally just the like just the actual words, like no sentences, just the words. I did each sentence. I should have just done each word. I think it would have been funnier. But what other thing was, I got woken up to the worst text message I've ever received in my life, which was an information about a TV show called Q-Force. Of course, I'm not the first one to make it, but I was like, Q-Force, like that guinea pig movie? But no, not the point. The point was, it is supposed to be a show with queer superheroes. It is so bad that I couldn't handle it. It's so bad. And fly. So bad. So I watched the trailer, or whatever this person sent me, and I was so angry about it. I was like, what the hell is this nonsense, awful thing? Why would you send this to me? And the thing is that, like, this afternoon, like right before this, I watched third episode of the Loki series, because I'm a slut for just watching media, and I want to know, like, different things. I like superheroes, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, ooh, I hope this does not happen. But that's not the point. It was this scene where he's ushering, they're trying to get onto this train, and he goes, yes, I'm here to escort this person, blah blah. And what got me was, in this scene, Loki is putting on a more masculine facade to fit in like a soldier to try to sneak in, and it doesn't quite work. Kind of half works. However, what happened was, in the stupid trailer that I saw for Q-Force, the one guy was all like, he like broke in and was like, pretty much like, you know, was masculine and trying to be all tough, or like, you know, extra tough in that one line, I guess. And he's like, oh man, it wasted all that masculinity on no one. And it's like, that one line could have been funny, because it's literally a joke in the Loki series. This isn't new, it's not revolutionary, but it is a joke. Good. It's a good joke. Like, it's just, that's it. It's a joke, right? Well, what happened is, in the Loki series, you know, they then also mentioned at the end that Loki canonly has been with guys and girls. But what happened is that in the Q-Force, I bet there's going to be it's going to be really bad. And most of all, I think it's going to be transphobic because of how it's written. I feel like they're going to not have anything maybe besides like the feminine gay guy, which again, in real life, people are like this. The problem is this is the media. Like, even if this person is 100% like, oh my god, this guy is my best friend, whatever. Like, yeah, okay. But here's the difference. Your friend or you are real people. This is media. Okay. And so what happened is, in Q-Force, they're gonna have the two gay guys, and it looked like there's at least one or two women. Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe one of the women is bisexual, which is dope. But I'm guessing they're gonna have really, really baseline representation, which is gay. And so what I'm saying is like, yeah, a very feminine gay guy. Those exist. People are who they are. The difference is in media, this is what people are reduced down to. And I don't want to reduce down the LGBT community to what I saw in that trailer. You know what I'm saying? And if they do very baseline things, they're not going to know. You know, some reason people like to stop the LGBT representation, or not representation, but like allies like to, or people like to just be like, oh my goodness, you know. And I'm not saying that you have to know every little thing of like each identity. Just ask the person like, hey, what blank? Like, just, that's why it's such a big thing. It's like, I don't need to know who you would sleep with under what circumstances. Just tell me your name, your pronouns, we're chill, you know? Because if we're friends, we're friends. I don't need to know who you want to sleep with necessarily. I mean, you know, we can talk about it, but like, it's not really a big deal. But like, they're not going to know all of these kind of different sexualities, like being attracted to all genders versus being attracted to no genders, being, you know, kind of floating around, or not being pinpoint on one thing or another, but like bisexuality, asexuality, pansexual, you know, bi, pan, ace, and like gray ace versus, you know, bi or gay or straight. I couldn't remember the word straight, gay or straight. And they're going to be like, well, these are gay characters. If you're calling it Q-Force, which I'm assuming means queer, which is already like, if you're already going to do a queer, like, have queer characters, are you going to limit it to gay and lesbian exclusively? Are you going to try bisexuality? Are we going to try, you know what? And then if one of the women characters are bi, how are you going to do it? You know? What about trans? Non-binary? Different pronouns? Don't know if that will even exist. So it's like, where are we landing with this Q-Force, you know? And this idea, it's not good. So then having it be like that, it just, oof. But then having it, I don't know, it really got to me. And, ooh, like, again, that one sentence of being like, I wasted all that masculinity on no one. It's like, that's funny. That can be a funny line. because people are like, bi men are too feminine, gay men are too feminine, even if they are strong or a bear. It's like, oh, they're too feminine. It's like, you can look like one of a super manly man, and they're still like, too feminine. It's this inherent gay equals femininity thing, where you can have literally freaking Captain America, if he comes out as canonly gay, people will be like, oh yeah, he's too feminine. You know, it's like this thing that already happened. And so Captain America himself could have been like, yeah, I wasted all that masculinity when he's literally pumped with hormones. Trans. Not the point. It's just this idea that, like, you really don't, and then just the idea that it's going to be done so badly, because the next line after I wasted all that masculinity, the one good line that I remember, line that I remember from that commercial, from that trailer, the next line ruined it. Hey, are these even LGBT characters or voice actors? Because if not, are they putting on a gay voice? You know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, people talk like this, but when it is a forced thing versus the thing that they actually sound like, or different things, and which is the opposite in, what was it? I don't remember what it was, but in one of the shows that my sibling and I were talking about, and I'm going to be so mad I don't remember it. In that show, there's that transgender, she was a kid actor, she transitioned when she was like a little older, and mainly I see a lot of people talking about how she was a reoccurring guest on Jessie, but she has been in other things, but I think mainly I know her from post-transition, but I guess she was big enough that it was like, oh my god, a kid actor transitioned, and she's gonna be playing a woman character. The question is the character going to be trans, or is she just playing a woman character and the actress is trans but the character isn't? I'm so torn because I would love, obviously, trans characters. Love that for me. Love seeing trans characters done any moderately well. Love that. But actors being their gender in general is something that I think I would like having it just a trans woman playing a woman, a trans guy playing a guy. It doesn't have to be a trans guy, it doesn't have to have a trans narrative. Just being that character is something that isn't done unless they're so passing that they don't come out. It's like either they're out and they play trans characters, or they're not out but they're trans and they transition and they play cis characters because they pretend to be cis, like they act like they're cis. This happened especially in older Hollywood. There is a one really famous actress, and she's like, I didn't come out until I was very, very old, and then at that point people didn't believe that I was trans because they didn't peg me as being trans. And I wouldn't be where I am today if I wouldn't get any of the jobs if I told them I was trans, because they didn't want a trans woman, they wanted a woman, and so they wouldn't have hired me. And I'm like, yeah. So it's one of those things, you know.